Welcome back. This is Board Game Officer. All right, so today we are going to play MAQUIS. I'm not sure how to say that. It's a solo-only game. I'm going to go through how to play here real quick, just to kind of down and dirty what we're doing. So, at the very beginning, you're going to choose two missions. There are 1-star, 2-star, and 3-star missions, meaning how difficult they are. There's also 2 starter ones with no stars. Their starter just kind of gets you ready for the game and how to play. So what you're going to do is you're going to have these days, and each day you're going to have a placement phase, action phase, and then an upkeep phase. So during your placement phase, you're going to go back and forth by placing one of your workers here on one of these spots, and you're going to alternate back and forth. And then you're going to flip over a patrol card, and you are going to place one of the policemen at these points. So this one, you'll go here first, Point Levaquay. I'm not going to pronounce anything right. This is all French. I don't know any French. So, and then I will go and place something, and then we will draw the next card for the next policeman. He'll go to Radio A, and so on, and we'll go back and forth until everyone is placed. Now, when placing these, there's 3 different spots here, because what you're going to do, so let's say we draw this card, and there's already one at Radio A. So then we're going to go to number 2 is Rue Burdot. That one is empty, so then we'll put him there. Now let's say this was the case. So, and we drew this card. We can't place that Radio A. We can't place that Rue Burdot. And we cannot place yet on Grocer. For that is also, so we go through, and if there's a token on all of them, then we go back through again, and it does not get placed on any of them the first time around. Then you're going to go back through, and if the first one that has a worker on it, they're actually going to get arrested. So you'll replace them. This worker will get removed from the game. You will not be able to recruit or re-recruit that worker there. And he gets arrested, and you place the police officer there. Now, let's say you were placing a 4th one, and this was still the card, and there's one at all 3 of them. Then this guy is just not even placed, and you just continue on with the next. So if you're placing 4 and that one didn't work, so you just don't even place that 4th one. So after the placement phase, you're going to have the action phase. At each spot, they're going to have certain different actions. So as you can see, if you come to the fence, you could trade 1 money to get a weapon. If you go to the doctor, you could get a medicine. If you come here, you could change 1 food to get another worker. If you come here, you could get food for your action. So 2 things here is these spots, there's 3 spare rooms here. These spare rooms, you could spend 2 money to open up a spare room. These here are all the spare rooms that you could get different stuff with. Now, it's going to depend on the missions and what they need, depending if you want or which ones of these you're going to need. So after you find out what missions you're doing, you're going to want to look through these spare rooms, see which ones, if any, you want, so you kind of know how to plan and how to strategize your game that go around. So when you choose an action, so we got a person on the doctor, we're going to do an action to receive a medicine token, and then there has to be a clear route back to the safe house. And we bring him back, and he brings this medicine back with him. Let's say that now it is blocked, so he cannot go this way, and he also can't go around, so there is no way to get him back to the safe house. So now you have 2 options if this is the case. 1, you can just have him not do an action. You say, nope, he's not going to do an action, therefore he stays there, and he's going to stay there for the next round. But that also means you don't get that action that turn. But if you decide to come home anyways, if he has to go through a room with a police officer, he is arrested and removed from the game. Now, that is only beneficial if there's an action with that shield there. This shield means that even if you get arrested going back to your safe house, whatever action you did still is a thing. Like, you still get that action. Meaning, if he's here, since there is no orange shield on this, that means if he gets arrested, we do not get that medicine because he tried to bring that medicine back, but he was arrested, so we don't get that medicine. If it was like this one here, right, because that's got the shield there, if he pays 2 and then gets arrested, because of the shield, we still get to place that spare room. That action still took place, even though he didn't come back to the safe house, even though he got arrested before he came back to the safe house. So now we're going to go to one other board here, is the morale board. So here we have we start here. The black numbers is just the order that you're going to go in. So 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The red numbers is how many police officers you're going to place at the beginning of the day. This means you're going to place at least, at minimum, 3. Now, you will either place 3 or however many workers you have on the board, whichever one is higher. So if I've gotten my 4th worker out, but I'm still here, because I have more workers than that number, I will actually place 4 policemen on the field instead of the 3. But let's say I only have 2 workers because one got arrested, and I'm here, I will still place at minimum 3 police officers there on the board. So that's what the morale does, and that can go up and down depending on different actions. Now soldiers, they're going to come up. When soldiers come up, so when you're coming back through, if you have a weapon, you can have this worker come through a policeman and actually shoot the policeman to move out of the way so he can come home, and then you discard that weapon. However, the downside of that is that means the soldier track moves up. And the soldier track is however many soldiers are going to be placed during the placement phase. And it's always going to be the last one. So if you're setting up 4 policemen, the last one is actually going to be a soldier. If you're setting up 3, the third one is going to be the soldier, or the last 2, or the last 3, right? However many soldiers you have. The difference with the soldiers is they cannot be shot, right? Because they're a lot more trained than the police. So they cannot be shot, meaning they are 100% blocked. You can't do anything else with them. The last thing here is you can get a fake ID from one of the spare rooms. Now that fake ID lets you pass either a policeman or a soldier once. So if you have one guy to come through, he can spend this to go through one. If this guy needs to go through 2 of them, this only lets him go through a single police officer and or soldier, not the whole route, just a single one. So then at the end, after you've done all your actions and place everything out, and you collect your actions and you make it back to the safe house, all the police and soldiers are cleared from the board. We move the day track up and we start over again. So we're just going through days here. Now, one thing to notice, these spots, the orange spots there, anytime when we get onto that day, our morale is going to go down 1. And then if our morale gets down to here, we fail the mission. So that's our kind of time tracker there to figure that out. So let's go ahead and get started here. All right, so here we got this set up. We've got our 3 police because we start on 3 right there. We start with 0 soldiers. We've got 3 workers that we start with, and we have 2 extra workers here that we can recruit throughout the game. Now, our 2 missions here. First one is Double Agent. We must unearth the Double Agent, only known as the Dark Lady. So the mission itself is visit all locations on the west side of the river except the fence and spare room. Once completed, turn over the patrol card. Location 1 is the location of the Dark Lady. Visit that location again to complete the mission. Remove 1 worker permanently from the game. Ooh. All right, so west, so that means we have all of these. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces that we have to just place a worker on at some point throughout the whole entirety game, except the spare room and the fence. So these 2 we don't have to, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those we have to do it. We've got little marker tokens that will mark them when we have visited, so we know which ones we have and which we haven't. And I'm actually going to place 2 tokens on the first one because whatever one I go to first, I have to go to at the end to complete this mission. So I'll mark it with 2 just so I know which one I need to go back to first. Our second mission that we need to look at is Infiltration. The best place to collect reconnaissance is often from inside. Insert a mole into the malice, or the police. Deliver 2 intel to this location. The worker must remain here until another worker delivers 1 weapon and explosive. While the first worker is here, you may look at the top card of the patrol deck before the placement phase. Okay, so, and these numbers here means that we have to do the number 1 before we could do number 2. And which, in the description, it made sense anyways, but we have to do this first, and then that worker has to stay there until we get that second one done. And this one, if we finish this one, we have to get rid of a worker. So that's kind of funny, a double agent, and then we're making our own double agent with that infiltration. I just randomly drew those, so that's actually quite awesome how that worked out. Let's go ahead and figure out what we want to do here. So for infiltration, we need a weapon, an explosive, and intelligence. As we can see, these spots here will both give us intelligence. However, nothing on the board right now will give us an explosive. So we look through these extra spare rooms, and this is one, chemist lab. We could change a medicine into an explosive. That means we're gonna have to try to get 2 money so we could reveal this room so we could make an explosive. The one that might be nice is that we could add another extra safe house. So we could either come to this safe house or this one, so it gives us kind of a little bit more to play with of trying to get back safe. Also, we have this one that gives us that fake ID. That could also be beneficial, but it kind of costs a lot, so we'll see if we want to do that or not. So those are the only ones that I'm going to even look at right now, because those are the only ones that are going to be helpful. So I'll just set this off to the side here. All right, and now let's go ahead and get into the game. So the very first thing we do is we do the placement, and we get to place one first. So I'm going to go ahead and start off easy here, because the first one we go to on this west side is the one we have to go to again. So I'm going to make sure I do it easy. So that one right there is on the west side. So that's my placement. Now we're going to put one on the fence. Then for our second placement, I'm going to place it here on radio 8 so I could try to get that informant there. And the next one, we're going to place it on the grocer. For this last one, I'm going to put it on the doctor so we could get that medicine. And doing this makes it a higher chance that I could get all 3 of them home, because now they are all on a spot. As you can see here, this actually worked out really well. We have Radio A, which someone is on. Then we have Pont Levaque, which we have a guy on. And Black Market, which no one is on, so he goes at the Black Market. So that actually worked out very well. So now they all get to do actions and return home. There's no actions on that, so that was more of just a placeholder because we needed it for that mission. Now the doctor he comes home from the doctor and brings some medicine with him, and he is going to come home from Radio A. Now he actually has 2 options here. He could either gain an informant, or he could do an airdrop. And an airdrop means that I could choose 1 money, 1 weapon, or 3 food and place them on one of these empty fields. And then next turn, I could go and pick up whatever I dropped there. And actually, I think I'm going to go for money first so I could get that spare room out sooner. So I'm going to have them drop money in the field there and have him come home. All right, so that's the end of that round. We clean up, bring those 3 out there. That was actually the beginning of the day. So now we go on to day 2. Day 2 here, I'm going to have one come up, pick up this money. Then we spawn one at Pont Levaque. I don't know how to say these. Then we're going to place one at the grocer there so we could get food, so we could get another worker. And we're going to place one at Radio B. And for our last worker here, I'm going to come here so I could get another worker. And grocer, then Poor District. So we'll put one on Poor District. All right, now we end. So we'll have him come back so he gets that food or gets the money. He's going to come back and bring that food. But now that we have that food, we could actually use that in the same turn that we received it to gain another worker. So he'll come home, use that, and bring that worker home with him. Now that's the end of that one. Also, I forgot to place a thing here because we did go to Radio A, and we also went to the doctor. So we did go to those 3 points. I forgot to play those out. Now we will clean up. Our day will go to 3, and that means our morale goes down 1. Also, as you can see, now I have 4 workers, and even though this says 3, we actually have to place 4 of the police because now we have 4 workers. So my first place I'm going to go to the Poor District, and then Radio B is where they'll go. And then I am going to go to the grocer there so I can get some more food. They're going to go to the fence. My next one, I'm going to go to Pont Levaque, and they're going to try to go there, but they can't, so they're going to go to Pont New Nord, which is there, which actually is where I wanted to go next, so I could get that square as well. Then I would only have that one left. So maybe I'll actually go up there then. I'm going to go to this to get that spot. And their last one will go to Radio A, which they can go, which they'll go there. All right, that actually worked out really good as well. So we got the grocer brings home some food. He just opened up the spot. I am actually going to have him spend this food to add a morale. So our morale will go back up. Yeah, it just says visit. So I just double check. It just says visit. It doesn't say I have to do a certain action for this. It's just visit all locations. So I can still do that action, and I visited it, so I still get to place that marker there. And our morale went back up to the start there. And now he comes back home, and we put one there. So we clean that up, and we just shuffle these again. Now, so you see we only have, because we don't have to go to those two places, we just have one more left to go to for the double agent. But we still need informants, and we still need another money. All right, so we're almost done with that double agent. So I'm gonna not go to Pont du Nord for a while here, because I don't want to complete that one yet, because I'll have to get rid of a worker, and I don't want to do that yet. So we're going to start trying to get that spare room out next here. All right, so for my first placement here, let's go to Radio B. He's going to go to Pont Lavacroix, right there. And then I am going to go to the grocer there to get some more food. And they're going to go to Radio A. And then I am going to go to the black market, and they're going to go to the fence. For my last one, I'm going to come here because that's the best place I could go right now. There's no other place that's going to help me. And he's going to go to Radio B. No. Grocer, no. Black market, no. No. This was probably the worst card. So, Radio B, grocer, and black market. That means he's going to arrest whoever's on that first one, which is going to be this one. So now this worker cannot be recruited. And that means we don't get our informant that we were hoping for. But it is the end of the placement, so now we get to collect stuff. So we'll have the grocer bring home some food. We'll have this guy just come home and place a marker there. So now all we have to do is visit this place one more time, and this one's done for. And then I am going to pay this food to get one money from the black market. But because we did that, we have to put our morale down one. But we went up one last time, and so that's fine. Last time I did forget to go down one day. So now that's the end of the day there, and so that was the end of that. And now we will go down to day 5. Here is I'm going to go to the grocer to kind of open up that space and get more food. They're going to try to go to the grocer, but they can't, so they're going to go to the poor district. Then I am going to go to the spare room. They are going to grocer or Pont du Nord. So that means I still have one more placement here. Let's try to go up to that Radio B there. And then, so because now I only have 3 and I'm still here. Oh, I had to go down on the morale track last time. But so still only doing 3, and he will go to the fence. Whew. All right. So that was good. That was good. I was really scared that he was going to go to the black market. So this time it worked out pretty good. So we'll have the grocer bring home some food. We'll have Radio B bring home some information for us. And then we'll have him build the spare room, which is the chemist lab. So now we could get that explosives there. I don't know how you get explosives from medicine. I mean, I guess there's some medication there that may be explosive, I guess, right? All right, so we'll clean this up. We move the day down here. So it is that orange spot. So the morale does go down 1. And now there will be 4 because there's 4 on this side. So there's going to be 4 again here. So with that, I'm going to come here so I could recruit one more. They will spawn on Radio B. Then I am going to go to the grocer for another food. And they're going to go to Radio A. And then my last guy is going to go to the chemist lab. And they're going to go to Pont Lavacroix. And they still need one more. So let me shuffle. 4th one goes to the fence. All right, so that one worked out all right too. So we'll have the grocer bring home a food, and then we'll spend that food to recruit our last worker here. And then we'll have the chemist turn that medicine into an explosive right here. All right, so we've got that, and he comes home with there. Now we're not hurting with these 4 because they're going to spawn 4 anyways. And on to day 7. I'm going to go to Radio B so I can get some more information there. And they're going to go to the fence. Then I'm going to go to the black market, and they're going to go to Pont Lavacroix. And then I'm going to go to the grocer. No, you got to be kidding me. This was the exact same card I pulled in the exact same thing. They had Radio B, grocer, and black market. So what does he do? He comes in and arrests the guy at Radio B. So he's out of the game for it all, and now I don't get my information again. Do I chance going to the Radio A? Yep, I'm going to chance it. I'm going to have him go to the Radio A. And for their last one, grocer, no. Poor district, yes. So he can go to the poor district. But that cuts off Radio A to get back. So I'm just not going to activate him right now. And we'll have the grocer bring home some more food. We'll have the black market just come home. I don't think I'm going to do an action there. Actually, I am going to have him do that. I'm going to pay 1 for 1 money, but that does take my morale down 1. So, because I did not activate him, he is going to stay there, but I still have to do 4 place there. So I get to place first, and that counts as my first placement. They're going to go to Radio B. Second placement here is actually going to be the fence. They're going to go to the grocer. I'm going to go here, which was going to finish that one off, but I think we're going to be okay, hopefully. And they're going to get, they're going to go to the black market. And they actually have 1 more. Radio A, they cannot, but they can go to the Rue Bardot or whatever. Bardot. All right, so this is what's going to happen here. So he is going to pay 1 money for a weapon and come home. He is going to get 1 information and come home. And he is going to finish this off because it says location number 1, which is that. Visit that location again to complete the mission. Remove 1 worker permanently from the game. So we'll place a marker on there. But we did have to lose this worker. So we only have 2 workers left. And I'm just going to clear all this off just to open up space here because we know that one's done. And we'll clear off there. I'm not sure about the rules here. Because usually you can't place 2 workers on 1 spot. But here it says the worker must remain here until another worker delivers 1 weapon and 1 explosive. So this is, I'm going to say I can't do that on 1 turn. It's going to have to be 2 separate turns. So the first one I'm going to go right there. And they're still going to go out 4. So he's going to go to Radio A, shuffle the deck. My second guy is going to go to the grocer. Oh, and our day went up to day 8. Radio A, point level quoi. And then we'll just draw the next 2. Radio A, Rue Bardot, and Fence is where they'll go. All right, so that one actually worked out okay. So this guy here, he will spend 2 information there to pass this off. However, he must stay there until this guy can come deliver those last ones. So he'll come home with a little bit more food, which doesn't really matter right now. And then we'll clear off the board. All right, I think we got this. I don't think there's a way we could lose because I get to place first, so I get to place him here. And now there shouldn't be any reason why he should do that. They should block me there. So because there's that shield there, that means they can block the way and it will still win that action. So they're going to go to the grocer, then to the fence, then to Pont Lavaquois. And last one goes to Radio B. So technically, they do block us from getting home either way. However, I will place my gun and my explosives to finish that off. And there we go. I did it because I don't need to go back because technically they both get arrested when they try to come back. But that doesn't matter because the activation still works. And there we go. We won. I didn't think that was going to happen there at the end. We were getting pretty close. Oh, also I always forget to advance that day. So we've gone down to there. So we only had a few days left until we would have failed. So that was pretty fun. I hope that made sense. Let me know if I did anything wrong because I'm sure this is my 3rd time playing, right? So it's still pretty new to me too. Let me know if I did something wrong, or if I forgot the day track or something. Let me know down in the comments what you think of this game. I think it's a fun little solo game. It's not too bad. And thank you so much for joining.